It's Friday night, and you know what that means. Hello, I'm Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist and owner of Hypnosis, and I'm here tonight for your Facebook Live, which is entitled, I am not my thoughts, I am my actions. So I'm going to have a little discourse about that later and how it interfaces with addiction, if you will. Going to also have a success story of one of my recent clients that I caught up with this week. Going to share that with you also. Now, I don't know where you are in the world, but I am currently in Toronto, Canada. And Toronto, Canada, I'm not sure if it's in North America or the whole wide world, but it's the city that's been in lockdown, the most extreme version of lockdown, for the longest period of time over the last year. A couple of weeks ago, our mayor allowed us to go to, what do you call it, outside of the restaurant when you can sit outside? The patios, that's it, that's the word I'm looking for. Because it's been about 6 months since we were allowed to even eat in a patio, let alone inside. And in two weeks, restaurants open that you could eat outside in the patio, even though it's a little bit still chilly here from day to day. And then he closed it down this week. So we're again back into the most extreme version of lockdown. So if you're in Toronto, put it down in the comments below. Say that you're in Toronto. I know how it feels. This is nearly a year of this lockdown now, and a city that's been more locked down than any other city in the world, I believe, or North America, over the last year. So it's very frustrating indeed. But we can only do what we can do. Again, if you've just joined us, say hi in the comments below. Give me a wave. If you've got any questions about hypnosis or addiction, then do please put it in the comments below. If you have any requests for future videos on hypnosis or addiction, do also put that in the comments below. So it's Friday night. And oftentimes, Friday signifies the end of the week, the end of the work week, a time for us to let go, a time for us to let go of the work week, let go of those stresses, and to unwind. It's a bit like that movie Saturday Night Fever, where John Travolta would hate his job, but he would live. He would live for that Friday and Saturday night, so he could party, he could dance, he could drink, do illicit substances. He hated his life. He hated the rest of the week, but just knowing he could get to Friday, then Saturday, hence Saturday Night Fever, the title of the movie, he lived for it. He lived for that partying mentality. Now, on Friday night, I don't know if you're currently in addiction or if you're currently in recovery. I'd be interested to know. You can put that in the comments below. But Friday night, the weekend, can be a big trigger for a lot of people who are fighting addiction. Because in their old lives, that would be the time when they would do their addiction and it would go haywire. If they're in recovery, that's what it used to be. Or it could just be the end of the week and their addiction gets even bigger because they have less structure. Typically, when I'd work with clients, some of the toughest times for them and their triggers was the weekend, because there'd be a lack of structure. There'd be no work, essentially. A lot of them wouldn't work over the weekend, so they'd have more time on their hands, if you would, or if you will. And sometimes we've got too much time on our hands and a lack of structure, especially when we're in recovery. That can spell trouble for us, big trouble, as I adjust my cap, the OCD kicking in there. So if you're in recovery now, or if you're wanting to use tonight and you're out there and you're watching this, I feel you. I feel you. And this video is all about, well, not our thoughts, but our actions. I have lots of thoughts. I have lots of dark thoughts, if I'm honest with you. I have lots of thoughts, lots of dark thoughts. I used to think I was the only one. Then I realised I'm not. Everybody has dark thoughts. Nothing wrong with having dark thoughts. They're just thoughts. You don't control your thoughts. They just pop up like little bubbles in a sparkling water. Then they dissipate and more bubbles come up. That's what thoughts are. You don't control your thoughts. You don't try to control the thoughts coming up. What you do control is your action. So if it's Friday, and if it's a trigger for you, and you have a thought, oh, maybe I want to drink tonight, It's already tough enough. Life's tough enough. World's tough enough now being in lockdown. You know what? What's it going to matter if I just take a drink? All right, that's a thought. There's nothing wrong with you having that thought. Doesn't mean you're 40. Doesn't mean you're broke. It means you're a human being. The thought comes up. Now, if you reach for that drink that you know is going to take you down a spiral of misery, and you actually do it, that's totally your responsibility. You've got control of that. Don't have control of the thought. You might have control. You want to do some weed tonight, and you're in recovery for that. It's not your problem. It's not your fault that the thought's coming up. You're a human being. The thoughts will always come up. Oftentimes in hypnosis, clients will say, "Can you make me never think about alcohol, cocaine, weed, my toxic ex-partner, whatever it is?" To which I say, well, no, not unless I give you a lobotomy. It's not like that movie, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where Jim Carrey has that operation to try and forget about Kate Winslet. And at the end, he chooses to keep those memories. It's not like that. But what it is like is those thoughts come up, and it's not the thought that hurts you. It's that emotional reaction that you have to the thought. It's you forgetting that you're thinking and forgetting that you're thinking and just feeling. And thinking you're feeling means it's real. And what I mean by real is I don't mean that you're not feeling what you're feeling, not discounting that at all. But there's a big difference between feeling something and doing something. I could feel like the biggest badass in the world, and then when I'm confronted by a challenge by someone out, then I don't do anything. I'm not such a badass, am I? I could have horrible, dark thoughts of killing people, massacring people. Might shock you. If you're honest, you've had those thoughts at some point in your life as well, perhaps even worse. Nothing wrong with that. As a human being, we go through a flux of emotions. Not our responsibility, not in control. What is our responsibility is the action. If you have a dark thought about killing a bunch of people and you do it, that's your responsibility. You have total control of that. Equally, if you had a dark thought of using, and you did, that's completely your responsibility. You completely made that choice, even though you don't believe that you did. If you had a dark thought about using heroin tonight, and that dark thought was there, oh man, I'm relapsing, I'm thinking about that heroin, I'm jonesing for it, and you don't use, guess what? You won. Don't control your thoughts, you control your behaviour. Now, if you did start using, that's totally your responsibility, because you did something in the physical world. Well, not our thoughts, or our actions. Whatever the dark, scary thoughts that come inside your head, you're not alone. I have them too. I fight with my demons daily. That's what a warrior is. Fights with them daily. Okay? Don't give in to them. As soon as you give in to them, and you take that action, that negative action of using the nicotine, the cocaine, the weed, the alcohol, the heroin, the gambling, the toxic social media, the toxic relationship, going back to that person, as soon as you take that step to re-engage and start doing it in the real world, that action, that behaviour is your responsibility. That's you. The thought coming up and you deciding, I thought I cleared that, thought I was over that, been clean, been clear for a week, a month, a year, 10 years now. Oh, why is it coming up again? I failed. No, you haven't failed. You're a human being. Thoughts come up. You don't control your thoughts. What you do control is your action. When that thought comes up, how do you interact with it? How do you interact with it? Do you start engaging in that bad behaviour? If you do, that's on you. That's your responsibility. Whether you choose to believe it or not, that is your responsibility. If you've just joined us, say hi in the comments below. Please always share these videos with any friends or any groups that you're on that you think would benefit from this discourse, from this advice that I'm administering here. If you indeed need help as well, there'll be a link underneath this video for you to book a screening call. Now, screening calls with me are 45 minutes, and I usually charge $15. For the next week, it will cost $0. It will cost you $0. If you need help, click on the link below, fill out the quick questionnaire, and it won't cost you a dime. For the next week, it will not be $15, it will be $0, but that's only for the next week, because I do charge for screening calls, because my time is valuable, as I'm sure you appreciate. So folks, always remember, you're not your thoughts. You can have some deep, dark, scary thoughts. You can regress in your thoughts. You can get stuck into that trap like I do sometimes, like, oh, I'm not improving, I feel stuck, I ain't getting any better. The truth of the matter is, we're never stuck. If you just stood still, in fact, if I just sat on this couch and didn't talk and barely moved for a week, I wouldn't be stuck. Because there's always one of two things that's happening. You're either moving forward or you're moving back. You're either living and growing or you're dying. If I did nothing for the next week but just sit here, I'm going backwards. I'd be dying. I'd be a week older, a week more hammering on my immune system, my lungs, my endocrine system working. It'd be a year, another week. I'd be a week closer to death, essentially. I'd be closer to death. But we're never stuck. We're always moving forward or we're moving back. There's no such thing as being stuck. There could be frustration. Oh, I wish I could change this. Why am I not changing it? That might be going back. But you can't. You can't be stuck. You can never be stuck. You're either living or you're dying. You're either moving forward or you're moving backward. By not moving at all, as in the metaphor of me just sitting here for a week, I'm actually moving backwards because I'm closer to death and nothing's improving in my life. So I'm getting worse. There's no such thing as being stuck. There's no such thing as I want to maintain. When I used to be a personal fitness trainer, it would always frustrate me when a client says, I just want to maintain. Just want to maintain. It's impossible to maintain. It's impossible to maintain, right? You're either moving forward or you're moving back. You do need to exert energy in order to move forward. But if you exert no energy, you're going to move back. It's impossible to live your life with the brakes on. Although I appreciate sometimes it can feel like that. So folks, the moral of tonight's story is this. You can have deep thoughts. It's Friday. It's the weekend. It can be some triggers for us. All right. It could be scary. You could want to use. It could be a trigger. This is a time when you've used more. You're not alone. You can reach out to me on this page. Put your hand up. Say you need help. Sign up for a screening course. It's not going to cost you a dime for next week. If you're truly ready to do something about your addiction, I'm here for you. Now, if you want to just bitch and complain and do nothing about your life or your addiction, then fuck off. This isn't for you. You're not brave. Now, if you're like, fucking hell, I really need to change this. I don't know how. I'm really scared. I've done a lot of things before that haven't worked for me and I'm still addicted to the substance. I'm not sure about this guy, Luke. I'm not sure about hypnosis. That's fine. It's fine to think those things. All right? I appreciate that. That's okay. Still here for you. Still going to help you. My heart goes out to you. My hand is here for you to grab. However, if you're just caught in your addiction and you don't want to change it, you shouldn't be watching the video. Just enjoy your drug of choice. Kill yourself if you have to. This isn't for you. All right? If you don't want to do anything about it and you want to piss your life away, go ahead. It's your life. I don't care. If you want to destroy your life, I don't care. However, if you put your hand up and you say, you know what? I'm ready. I want some help. I want to get through this. I want to get on the other side. I want to embrace my life. I realise that I'm not my thoughts. I am my actions. And I'm ready to take right action to deal with this. I'm ready to become a better person for me, for my family, for the community. If you're brave, then I'm here for you. Absolutely, I'm here for you. But if you just want to bitch and complain about why your life is so miserable and why you're stuck, but never actually do something about it, I don't want to hear that story. Nobody wants to hear that story. Everyone in your life is sick of hearing that story. But if you're ready to grab hold, to do something new, to take it to the next level, to be brave, to be strong, to be your best self, to move forward, I'd love to hear from you. Love to speak with you. Love to help you get to the next level. So remember, you're not your thoughts, you're your actions. Doesn't matter how many dark thoughts that come into your mind, you're not alone. Even if you feel like, oh my God, I'm so weird, I'm so strange, no one's thinking these thoughts. Yeah, I can almost guarantee you that of the 8 billion people or close to on Earth, there's more than 1 or 2 that are thinking those thoughts as well. I can almost guarantee that. You're not alone. It's okay to have those thoughts. It's okay. However, if you take action to destroy your life and engage in those things that used to hurt you, that's your responsibility, and that's what you are. If you choose, thought comes in, I want to use tonight because I am feeling weak. But you do something else instead of use. You meditate, you reach out to me, you reach out to a friend, you read a book, you pray if you believe in that kind of stuff. You exercise, you drink some water, you have a healthy meal, you have a warm bath. You sit in your darkness until you come out the other side. And if you choose to deal with it, you're brave, you're strong, you've got that warrior inside of you. I believe in you. Always believe.